Hi, writers. Welcome to Writers Workshop. You did fantastic on your five senses poems. Thanks for sharing those with us. Today we're going to learn about a new kind of poem called a shape poem. And guess what? That's exactly what it is. It's a poem that's about something, and when you write it in the shape of that object. Let me tell you more. So, do you see that star on the screen right now? The poem is about stars. And instead of writing it in lines going across, they wrote it in the shape of a star. Isn't that cool? Now, I have a story that we're going to read called Doodle Dandies, Poems That Take Shape. We're going to read this story and we're going to notice all the different ways that you can write a poem in the shape of something. So fun, right? All right, kindergartners, Doodle Dandies, Poems That Take Shape. See the words coming out of there? Out of the fish bubbles? It says words and images. Look at that. See if I can maneuver myself a little bit here so that you can see better. First burst of spring. The day is cold, the earth is mud, but don't let anything stop your bud. And look, they drew a little flower growing, a little bud. Isn't that a cool shape poem? This one is a type of dog called a dachshund. Here comes the lady with the diamond ring, walking a dog like a sausage on a string. There goes the dog with his nose in the air, walking the lady with purple hair. And do you see? Here's the shadow of the dog. And they wrote the poem. There's the dog's tail and his legs and his head. This one is my favorite. My kindergarten class knows that I love giraffes. Look at this one. They wrote the poem in the shape of a giraffe. Let me read it to you. Tree tall giraffe, up to his neck, in brown and yellow patchwork quilts, turns tails and hobbles away on wooden stilts, 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 stilts. So fun. Ooh, do we have any baseball fans out there? Look at this. On each of the baseballs, they wrote part of the poem. The fastball that you hope to poke is smoke. The screwball, an ironic twist, hits your fist. The knuckler wobbling up to you can dipsy-do and let up pitch that can't resist, you missed. The sinker comes and surprises, it dies. The curveball that you thought was there is air. The spitball, by the laws forbidden, is hidden. This one is about a weeping willow tree, and if you've never seen this kind of a tree before, it has long, saggy branches with leaves on them. The weeping willow. Her wind-woven hair softly weeping. Her wind-woven hair softly weeping. Each one of those says the same thing. Down the trunk it says, in a far field of sadness stands the wee widow weeping. Look at this one. It's in the shape of an umbrella. How fun is that? You can see the raindrops coming down, but she's not getting wet because her poem is turned into the shape of an umbrella. Here's our butterfly, and look at it. It's written so that it outlines the butterfly. Ooh, look at that. The poem is about the tiger's eyes, so it goes around the shape of his eyes. Synchronized swim team. The poem is on their legs and the water. A poem about an oyster. Oh, look at snake. A poem about winter and it's snowing. A poem about the sky. This poem is about a mirror. So it's the same poem and the same person, but it's like they're looking in a mirror. This poem is about a camel. So right now, I want you to think of something you could write a poem about that you could also add the shape. Think about that for a second. When you have an idea of what your poem could be about, give me a thumbs up. And then we'll share what I was thinking we could try. So my poem idea is about a kite. And so what I needed to do is I needed to think about what are some words that would describe a kite. And I want my poem to be rhyming. Yours doesn't have to rhyme. Remember, poetry can be anything you choose. You could choose for it to rhyme. You could choose for it not to even make sense. Sometimes adults write poems that seem like they're about one thing, but really they're about something totally different. So poetry can really be whatever you want it to be. Let's look at my words that I came up with to think about a kite. High and sky, string, bring, tail, whale, kite, bright. Do all those words describe a kite? Do they go high in the sky? Do they have a string? Do they have a tail? Do they have a kite? Or is it a kite? Yeah. And now, is a kite a whale? No. Does a kite have to be bright? No. But those are my rhyming words. Let me show you how I'm going to put this together into a poem. So I'm going to decide where I want it to rhyme, if I want it to rhyme, but I'm going to put my ideas, my descriptive words of a kite into my poem. I love my kite. It is so bright. It goes so high up in the sky. It has a tail as big as a whale. That's my poem. I took those words kite, bright, high, sky, tail, and whale, and I put them into sentences. Now, once you write your poem part, here's the part that gets really fun. Now, I'm going to write my poem in the shape of a kite. So let's check my poem out. My poem starts right here. I love my kite. It is so bright. It goes so high up in the sky. It has a tail as big as a whale. Do you see how I wrote my poem on the shape of a kite? You're going to do the same thing. Whatever it is that you're going to write a poem about today, you're going to make your poem in that shape. And then you're going to add color. You're going to want to decorate these. So I added color to my kite. I have my words on there, and it is done. I can't wait to see what your shape poem is going to look like. Have fun. Have a great day, kindergartners. Good luck doing your best poetry. Be creative.